basically, I've just been targeted by trans activists for about 10 years now. They use the police, they use the courts, everything they can throw at me to try and stop me, talking about this issue. And the latest thing is this guy called Lindsay Watson. And he is a disgraced ex-policeman who seems to have some sway in the force because he's able to get them to arrest anyone he wants. He even an ex-policewoman got arrested.
Wow.
For talking about it. Yeah. So he's just been. I think when they arrested me, they were just doing the usual. They were just doing what they were told, not really thinking it through, and they just made a huge mistake because it became worldwide news.
Right.
And it's after 8 to 10 years of trying to get the word out about this stuff. And you know what it's like. There's a sort of a level that you can't go above. You can talk about it on podcasts, but you can't talk about it on legacy TV anywhere and stuff like this, So it was hard to break free of that kind of gravitational pull. And then I got arrested and I'm on Megyn Kelly and Joe Rogan. And it was just wonderful, It was, oh, actually, no, Joe Rogan, to his credit, interviewed me before I was arrested.
Yeah, he had you on earlier, yeah.
Yes, forgot about that.
Yeah.
But it has been like, suddenly, I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, I often describe it as I was made notorious and then punished for my notoriety.
Yeah.
And so, I'm still wondering what I've done wrong. I think the reason that Bill Maher doesn't like me is because I just refuse to use preferred pronouns.
Yeah.
Not like I will use them in private if it's a select group of people and there's no harm to it. But in public, it becomes a political act when you agree with someone that they are who they say they are.
Were you on Mar?
No, he just insulted me. Yeah, and again, I think the only reason I can think of is that I don't take misgendering and dead naming as the taboo that it has been that it's been made. In fact, it's very dangerous to to say to people, we're going to forget your previous name. Just it's like I always describe Bruce Jenner, even though I think Bruce Jenner is pretty based on a lot of this stuff. But he drove away from the scene of an accident and came back a woman. And it's like it seems to happen a lot with people who are trying to escape some aspect of their past. Mm-hmm. There's a guy in the UK who's had 3 or 4 names because he's a fraudster. And his latest name is a female name, so he's able to sue people for transphobia when they cross him.
The fact that people, this has always been the mind-boggling thing about this issue for me is that you have I was writing at Playboy and it was a very weird time to be writing at Playboy because it was right when they were going non-nude and it was during like Me Too and it was pre-trans activism kind of taking over everything. So it was really like the height of the male gaze is evil and the patriarchy and feminism was really, really at their peak. And so it was strange to me after all of these years of hearing how evil and conniving men would be, that they couldn't consider that men would use this
it's the strangest.
To their advantage. I'm like, wait, we just spent like literally years. All I heard about was how men were evil predators, all of them.
Yeah.
And now some men aren't going to use this very obvious trick to get into women's spaces.
I describe it as it's a bit like a beekeeper dressing up as a giant bee to collect the honey.
It's also like you have criminals who are now self-IDing into women's prisons and whatnot. And you're like, why would you think that they wouldn't do that?
Yeah.